Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 6th episode of the Axis of Combat podcast. Not 666. This is not the belly of the beast. This is just the Axis. Two brothers here just kicking it off. It's your boy, Ray Boogie, my co-host.
Who with a boss? Who girl got next? You already know.
And before we kick it off, just do us a favor, please. On social media, follow Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, the Twitter, especially if y'all want that news, the Twitter. And then if you're watching on YouTube, there's a little thumb there. Hit that like. There's a subscribe button right next to it. Hit that subscribe. You'll be doing us many, many favors. We will love you very long time if you hit those buttons.
And just so you guys know, just to put your mind at ease, subscribing and following doesn't cost a thing. This isn't a monthly subscription. This isn't a weekly subscription. This isn't anything that you're going to get charged for. This is just high quality product provided to you at free 99. So
the freest of 99s.
The freest of 99s, you know. So just hit that like, that subscribe button. It gives us support. It also encourages us to keep going because it lets us know, especially if we don't know the people who are watching, that people are watching outside of our circles. And we would really encourage it on all platforms just for the support. And once again, free of charge.
That's right. We appreciate it a lot. We want that motivation. Keep us motivated.
Yeah. And just to jump right into it, guys, we're going to recap our Las Vegas picks from last weekend, as well as our boxing bets. So for me, I hit on Tim Tszyu money line, Tim Tszyu via knockout, Davy Grant, hell of a fight. Alexander Volkov I hit, and I lost on Petrino. That Petrino fight to go the distance. I lost on Saeed via submission or decision, even though I thought he won the fight. And my worst bet of the night was definitely Ryan Spann, who is officially dead to me. Because, it was just, just low-level IQ stuff in there. And to last but not least, missing the parlay because Saeed was a part of my parlay. Overall, individual picks went 57%, 4-3, 4-4 if you include the parlay, 50%, which isn't a terrible gambling night, just broke even. My brother here, on the other hand, had a very hot night, went 80% on picks, picked Tim Tszyu, Davy Grant, Petrino, Alexander Volkov straight. Oh, well, Tim Tszyu via knockout, actually. Yeah. And then he took Ryan Spann, so he hit on 4 or 5, went 80%. 4-2, which is still 67%, if you include the parlay, because we mirrored each other's parlays. So not bad betting nights. We definitely want to do better, and we will do better for you guys. So, once again, a lot of this news, a lot of these picks, sometimes we don't definitively make them on the podcast. That's why it's very important to follow us on social media platforms, because we wind up releasing them right before the card starts.
Yes.
So follow us, Twitter, Instagram, even TikTok and Facebook will, get you that news. And as of course, love and subscribe this video. So love, don't like it, love it.
Love it.
So, but
all the love.
All the love, So, but to jump right into it, this weekend we have a banger of a card, or at least the main card. UFC 286, headlined by Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards for the third time. Great fight. We will be getting to that towards the end of this podcast. We're going to start from the bottom up as we usually do. And to kick it off, we have our first fight, Veronica Hardy versus Juliana Miller at 125. What do you got for me, my brother?
Well, this is what I got. I like Juliana Miller. Veronica Hardy, formerly known as Macedo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how this fight pretty much goes, if we're being honest, in terms of like the detail and the level of breakdown we're going to give for it. Because to be honest, Juliana Miller, she's coming off a tough, great submission game, great pressure. I'm assuming she's your lean, correct?
Yeah, Juliana. Oh my God. Butchered the name. Juliana Miller. Killer Miller. She's definitely my lean.
Yeah.
Don't know if I got a bet on this, only because like her money line she's like minus 400. That's super big.
Yeah.
Veronica Hardy hasn't fought in over a year.
3.
3 years. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of retired because of concussions, but now is coming back. Don't know why. I think she's a very good striker. I think she's an underrated striker, but I don't think she has any. I think this is a matchup for Miller to win.
I agree.
At the end of the day,
I agree. Yeah, I like the lean is definitely Juliana Miller. I agree with you on the odds. I don't think this fight is bettable from the simple point that I don't think that Juliana Miller should be a minus 400 on her debut against a girl who definitely has an edge on her in the striking.
Yeah.
An edge, rather. She, Veronica Hardy, by the way, smoke show, hot as hell. She's been out, obviously, you know, for what you said with the concussions, but as well, too, she's also only 27 years old. Yeah. So what scares me about this fight, outside of it being like a low level MMA fight, is the fact that even though she's been out for 3 years, she's only 27 years old. The jumps that most youthful athletes can make within that time frame can be significant. So I could see Veronica, even though she got married, you know, with Dan Hardy, and she is actively doing podcasting and reporting.
Yeah.
I could see her doing a lot of training in between and getting better. She is by far much better on the feet than Juliana Miller, but she does have a ground game, not a competent one, but who knows what it looks like after 3 years of being away from the cage. So this fight, and you know, I think I speak for my brother here, it's definitely a hard pass. Definitely going to stay away from this one. It's too low level and there's too many variables to bet this fight.
But Miller should win.
Miller's the lean. She should probably win by submission as well. So if you want to jump on it, we're not encouraging you to, but if you want to jump on it, that's for you guys. I could see Veronica lighting her up on the feet and keeping this fight at distance because Juliana does, you know, block with her face. So
yeah, I could see her getting advice from Dan Hardy.
Yeah.
You know,
good. And Dan Hardy, a very good striker for those who don't know, her husband. So, you know, a lot of things, but this fight's a hard pass. So, and I think you don't have anything to add for this one, correct?
No, we could go on to the next fight, which is
Jay Herbert versus Ľudovít Klein.
Yep.
What do you got for me for this fight?
Well, Jay Herbert, the Black Country Banger, 12-4. Slight dog here against Ľudovít Klein, the highlight, Mr. Highlight, I guess. This is a striker versus striker fight for the most part. I'm leaning Klein. I don't know. This fight I kind of go back and forth with because I think Jai Herbert is better than people want to, you know, give him a little credit for, I think.
I agree.
You know, and I think Klein is good, but and they're calling him a knockout guy, but he only knocked out the first guy, Shane Young, in his debut. He's got a lot of knockouts in the regionals, but hasn't really knocked anybody else out in the UFC. Jai Herbert, banger. Got power in both hands. Great distance striker. This is tough.
Yeah, and Jai is also very big for the weight class. For those who don't know, he had a fight with Topuria, and he had Topuria on Queer Street. And if you don't know who Topuria is, you guys are definitely late to the game on this one. Topuria, I think, is the dark horse in the 155 division, if I'm correct. Yeah, 155.
Yep, 155.
Yeah, just to make sure I got those weight classes, you know. but you know, I think he is a dark horse in this division to win the championship. And Jai Herbert had him on skates in that fight before Topuria came back and ended him, which is phenomenal fight.
And he also fought Moicano and also had him on skates as well before Moicano was able to, you know, take his neck. And
yeah. Now the question is Ľudovít Klein to the caliber of those guys? Because Jai hits extremely hard and he is very big for this weight class. I'll be honest, I don't know where I'm leaning with this. I do kind of like the violence prop here. Under 2.5 is at minus 175. A little high, but I think it's reasonable considering these guys' fight styles. Jai is, you know, killed or be killed in his fights.
Yep, and Ľudovít, he's got wrestling in his back pocket, but I feel like he only resorts to the wrestling as a kind of change of pace kind of thing. He's got really good striking, He's got really good head kicks. Got really good kicking in general. So I do like the violent side here because, striker versus striker here, somebody can get cleaned out real quick.
Yeah, Jai's had 16 fights and only 2 have gone to decision.
Yeah.
And that's his style, Ľudovít a little more, especially since he's been in the UFC. Like, some of his fights have gone to decision, but I don't know if Jai is going to give him, if Jai's going to give him that out or even allow him to get to the scorecards.
Yeah, this matchup's one of those stylistic matchups where you kind of feel like someone's going to get hurt.
Yeah, someone's definitely going to get hurt in this fight. I kind of like the under 2.5, but I haven't definitively put a bet on this fight yet. But I like the under 2.5 because I think it's very hard to pick who is going to win this fight. I think if I had to lean, it's probably going to be Ľudovít. I believe so, but
I'm with you. I think it also depends on which Jai Herbert shows up because when he fought Kyle Nelson, it was kind of one of those fights where he was just trying to get a win.
Yeah.
It was very different from his previous fights against like Topuria and all those other guys where, he wasn't afraid to throw hands.
Right.
When he got knocked out by Topuria, that fight against Nelson, he kind of played it a little safe. So I can see, and that might work to his advantage, to be honest, because I don't know if he wants to get into a straight exchange with Ľudovít Klein.
Yeah.
And so it might drag the fight out just a little bit, but I still think that these guys hit hard enough where I think the under could hit.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think the under's live here.
But if you wanted to take, like I said...
Who's your lean? Yeah, who's your lean?
I think my pick is going to be Ľudovít.
Yeah.
But I'm a little tempted to take Jai as a dog. Yeah. I think maybe it's one of those live bet spots where you kind of just see how he fights in the first round. Just in the beginning of that first round. See if he's circling the octagon and he's kind of like playing it safe, then it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Klein's the side. But if they start banging immediately, I kind of like Jai in the exchanges there because of his length and because of his power.
Yeah.
But under the 2.5,
I think that's the safest bet.
I think that's a safe bet as well.
Yeah.
So
no official bets, guys. Just that we're spitballing here. I think that's where I'm leaning. I believe that's where my brother's leaning. So
yeah.
But anyway, we can move on from this fight. So next up we got Joanne Wood now versus Luana Carolina, and I smell a dog pick here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna bet it. But if you guys are feeling spicy, I think Luana Carolina is gonna win this fight, and she is a underdog in this fight.
And that's crazy to say, considering that Joanne Wood is, how long she's been in the game and the caliber of people she's fought.
Yeah,
she's fallen this far. Where we got what's her name?
Exactly.
Who? Yeah, exactly. Luana Carolina, as we're considering her as a dog pick. That's kind of insane.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's only because, in their primes, Joanne's the much better fighter, but Joanne's also 37 years old. There's already rumors that she's going to retire after this fight, and once they start throwing around that R word, it gets very scary to put money on you.
Yeah.
And Luana is long, lanky, can give her some different looks, can give her some trouble.
Yeah.
Joanne's lost, I think she's won one of her last 4 or something like that. She's on a crazy losing streak, unfortunately, because I love her. We remember watching her coming up. I think she was on Tough, right?
Yeah, I think she was on one of the Tough seasons with
Jesus. Yeah.
All that. It was a very good season with all the women that she came in with.
Yeah, and the thing is, listen, if you look at she's only won one of her last 4. But look who she's lost to. Alexa Grasso, who's the new champion, Talia Santos, and Lauren Murphy.
Talia Santos, the would-be champion.
Yeah, to be honest. And she lost to Jennifer Maia before that. But, I felt bad for her because she was on the brink of a title shot before that. And she took the fight and she lost. And, the UFC just said, oh, well.
Just keep feeding her killers.
Keep feeding her killers, So I'll be honest. I'm not touching this fight. I don't think I'm touching this fight. But I would say I'm probably going to pick Luana in this spot. I think she's a live dog. She's live as hell.
From a betting perspective, it is dog or pass, I think. It's just insane because, like I said, like Joanne Wood, and Carolina, on their best days, Joanne's better everywhere. Yeah. The problem is she just hasn't been that person in a long time.
Yeah, I agree.
And wow, yeah, Carolina might be. She might be. If you're gonna pick it, go Carolina. If not, just completely move on from the fight because the fight is
low level.
It's
low level, especially with the way JoJo looks now. You know, unfortunately, I hate saying that because like I like her. I like her as a fighter. I think she was great when she was coming up. You know, so. But anyway, moving on, we have Jake Hadley versus Malcolm Gordon.
Jake
White Kong versus Malcolm X.
Taking Malcolm X on
Gordon.
Malcolm X Gordon. That doesn't sound right. Oh my God. It just sounds so messed up.
I feel like the UFC matchmakers do this on purpose sometimes too.
It's so trolly.
It's so trolly.
Because of course we got White Kong beating up Malcolm X here.
Yeah.
I think Jake is the side.
Yeah, I think he's the side too. I think this is definitely this has chances to be
they would have been packing them up.
The pack him up of the week for sure.
Yeah.
You know, so and Jake is a beast. He's good everywhere. Good striking, good power in his hands, good grappling, good wrestling. Malcolm Gordon, his last fight was against someone we're going to talk about further in this card, Mokaev.
Yeah.
And he has decent grappling and decent wrestling, but not enough to be threatening or imposing. It's more like he has good defensive stuff.
I feel like, honestly, that was probably the best Malcolm X we've ever seen in the UFC against Mokaev. He showed up.
Yeah.
But
still got finished in the third round.
I still don't think he's got anything for Hadley here. Hadley's a smarter fighter, more technical fighter, more technical striker. And I think he should. I think it's a matter of when, not if he packs him up, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't even. I can't believe I'm picking White Kong
to beat Malcolm X, bro. That's crazy. Not to shit all over Malcolm Gordon. Malcolm Gordon is a good, like, he's one of those guys that he's a good
test. He's a good test.
He's a good gatekeeper.
Yeah.
You know, for people who are
coming up.
Either coming up or they kind of just need a win.
Yeah.
You know?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, that's terrible.
Not to say he's like, I mean, and the thing is Malcolm.
Stepping stone.
Yeah, not to say he's a stepping stone, but like Malcolm Gordon just finds a way to lose. Unfortunately.
He does.
In all 6 of his losses, he's been finished in all 6 of them.
And unfortunately, UFC matchmakers is not doing him any justice either. Like, he has 2 hammers back to back like this, and Mokaev and Jake Hadley. Good luck, man.
Yeah, this is a Hadley hookup spot.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I feel terrible, but yeah, Jake Hadley by finish. That's definitely if he's not going to be a bet. If it's unbettable, because some of the lines have an open, guys, so we apologize.
We're missing so many props. Yeah.
But if to finish, that's live. That's the bet for sure. Yeah. If it's not juiced. But Jake Hadley's definitely a parlay piece on this card for sure. If we're gonna do any parlays, so but you know, not to be the dead horse, you already know what's gonna happen there. So, but moving on, we have newcomer Christian Leroy Duncan versus Duško Todorović.
Who?
I know who he is, but the casuals,
yeah, you nailed it.
The casuals, yeah. Now, Christian Leroy Duncan, a lot of hype on this kid coming into the UFC. He has a lot of spinning attacks, a lot of flashy knockouts. He also has an extensive amateur background, which is why, and I usually don't like to bet on newcomers or people making their debut, but I'm very tempted because I feel like this is another matchup where they want to highlight this guy. They want to highlight a newcomer. And Duško can win this fight. He does have the tools to win this fight. Unfortunately, Duško has a style that's conducive to getting hit.
He's got a lot of defensive holes.
Oh, man.
Let's just say that.
Yeah, and Christian Leroy, not so much. Very good, in and out, good footwork. He is like, I don't want to say he's like Tony Ferguson, but he kind of goes in there and he causes havoc like Tony Ferguson. He's just more technical on the feet than Tony.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, like he does a lot of spinning attacks. Doesn't matter where the fight goes, he's making it uncomfortable for you. He takes you to the floor. He gets taken to the floor. He's going to hit you with elbows on the floor. He's going to hit you with punches. He's going to scramble to get back up to his feet, and he's very durable, has a great gas tank. Beast. He's really good. And because of his extensive background, I like him straight. I also like him arguably by knockout. And the reason I like him by knockout is because Duško likes to play that Anderson Silva game. And, I like how a lot of people like to play that Anderson Silva game without Anderson Silva's skill or his mindset or his understanding of distance management and things of that nature, but likes to move his head, fights with his hands down, likes to move his head, and tries to, play the slip and punch game, but not really with the punch. It's weird.
Yeah.
He tries to slip with no punch, no counter punching, no danger. Leaves his chin straight up, back straight up. Leroy is probably going to catch him, knock him out. I think the bet for sure is definitely Christian Leroy straight, if it's even bettable at this point because he's been getting smashed, and Christian Leroy Duncan via knockout would probably be a bet.
Yeah, and I think on the Duško side, I mean, the one thing I can see, it was going to be interesting to see, is how Leroy Duncan handles his wrestling, because I mean, again, in the regionals and in his amateur record, he's got really solid, defensive and offensive wrestling. But this is going to be the first UFC tested wrestler that he's fighting against. And, all of Duško's finishes are ground and pound finishes.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the one thing I'm pretty interested to see in this fight. But I don't think Leroy is going to have a problem. I think Leroy is going to be able to get up. And if it stays standing, I mean,
yeah,
Duško's had his chin dusted by big boys before,
and lesser fighters, lesser strikers, if we're being honest.
I wouldn't say lesser. I mean, Chidi and Soriano.
Soriano's a 1-2 punch.
Amen. But those 1-2 punches,
he hits dumb hard. No, don't get me wrong. And when I say lesser striker guys, I don't mean lesser power punchers.
Yeah.
By lesser technical strikers, guys that can set traps and literally lead you onto a head kick. Leroy can do that. He's good. I like Leroy Duncan, and I like Leroy Duncan by knockout. I think you probably agree with me there.
Yeah. I think that's where I'm gonna lean. I think I like that.
The violence in this fight too. Let me check the unders for this really quick. But violence for sure. I think if it's either killed or be killed, but Leroy's never been finished.
No.
But this is also his first UFC fight too. So a lot can happen. But the unders, they set it to 1.5 because they know. -115 pick 'em makes sense. If they have an alternative for fight starts round 3 and it's under -150 or around the 150 range, or if they have under 2.5 and it's at a reasonable price, I will shoot there because I think this fight's gonna get finished.
Yeah, and Duško, just like Malcolm Gordon, again, another one of those gatekeepers.
Yeah.
So, but I think this is the test that Duncan passes, and he probably passes with flying colors.
It's unfortunate because they had high hopes for Duško, I feel.
Yeah, he was a hot prospect when he came in.
Yeah, and I still feel like he still can be that guy, but he's got a tall order fighting this kid, and he's big for the weight class too. Leroy's very big for the weight class, lanky,
And it's not a good look when you get out wrestled by Jordan Wright.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Ninja, who just got cut from the UFC, by the way.
Yeah,
for that terrible fight against Zach Fuga, but
he was able to win it. But I mean, again, when you lose a round wrestling to the Beverly Hills Ninja.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yikes.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, moving on. We have Lerone Murphy versus Gabriel Santos at 145. Gabriel Santos is coming in late notice on this fight. And, God, I like Lerone Murphy a lot.
Yep. Both guys undefeated. This fight is going to probably be a low-key banger. Low-key. The original opponent was supposed to be Nathaniel Wood. And I think that fight that fight was going to be awesome, I feel like. But Gabriel Santos, not a bad replacement. He's also undefeated, multiple time champion in whatever, the regional scenes as he's been in. Same spot that Brenner came from when he fought Tuhugov a couple weeks ago. He beat Brenner. But two undefeated guys. I think I'm leaning Lerone here. I think Lerone's got the better striking by, I don't want to say by a mile, but I think he's definitely got the edge with the hands,
man. And and he's a tough dude, man. Like this guy, for you guys that don't know, his backstory is crazy. He got shot in the head, man,
3 times.
3 times. And, he don't like to talk about it because real G's move in silence like lasagna. You feel me? So it's, so it's, he's a bad boy, man. And his striking, his traps, his boxing is very technical. Like, does a lot of feinting, which a lot of UFC fighters don't do. Feints, steps, traps, get you into that space, and then just plants either a knee or his right hand on your face. Knows how to double jab, uses the double jab very well. And listen, his grappling, he does get taken down, but he went all 3 rounds with Zabira Tuhugov, and Tuhugov, had him in some bad positions, but he caused enough havoc and had enough defensive responsibility not to take a ton of damage and to get back up to his feet multiple times. I like Lerone a lot in this fight. I might take him straight. I think he's minus 180 right now. I like that a lot. I just don't. Gabriel Santos is a beast too. Don't get me wrong. I believe he is UFC caliber, but I just think taking this fight on short notice against a hammer like Lerone
and flying all the way from Brazil
in Lerone's backyard.
Yeah.
Good luck, man. Good luck. I like Lerone in this fight.
I got really nothing else to add there. I kind of agree with everything you just said there. To be honest. Took all the words right out of my mouth, boy.
Yeah. Next we have next it's weird because we have DraftKings has it in a different order, but next we have Muhammad Mokaev versus Jafel Filho. Filho, right?
Fiallo.
Fiallo. Is it Fiallo? That's how you pronounce it?
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Oh yeah. But yeah, Muhammad Mokaev, we mentioned him earlier. He fought Malcolm X Gordon.
Yep.
Muhammad Mokaev is a hammer. I think he is the real deal. He is a beast.
Yeah, he's a future, definitely top 15, even top 10 caliber prospect.
Possibly a champion.
Yeah, maybe.
He's not even 25 yet.
Yeah, I don't want to jump that hard, but he's definitely he's showing a lot of good, excellent signs of making it that far.
He's a beast.
So
yeah, he's a beast. But he's fighting a guy in Jafel Fiallo who has a very competent ground game. This line is a little too blown out. I think it should be a little closer considering what we saw in the Malcolm Gordon fight versus Mokaev, because Malcolm Gordon gave him a lot of looks and made it difficult for him to actually put a beating on him and actually to finish him. But it's crazy because Malcolm Gordon is the safer fighter. Fiallo is the more aggressive fighter with his grappling.
Yeah.
But he does leave more openings than Malcolm X does.
Yeah.
I keep saying Malcolm X. They're going to think this is a political podcast. Malcolm Gordon. So,
yeah.
But what I will say is that Muhammad Mokaev, I think this fight is just a matter of when. When is he going to stop him? I feel like a lot of this card is a showcase card, which is interesting. But, yeah. Muhammad Mokaev, definitely going to be one of the parlay pieces on this card. The bet will probably be on him to finish because this line is completely blown out to the point where you can't bet him straight.
Yeah, it's a step up from Malcolm Gordon. Where Malcolm Gordon, again, like my brother said, gave him a whole bunch of different looks. Probably caught him by surprise, to be honest. Fiallo could give him those same kind of looks, maybe even more dangerous because, he's a little more sub-savvy. But at the same time, he also leaves himself open to a lot more things. So I think maybe second, third round
stoppage.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, by punches or submission, we don't know. And
Fiallo's not whack.
Yeah,
let's not get it twisted. Like, I think he beats a lot of other guys in this division. But Mokaev's he's just a different breed.
Yeah, Mokaev is definitely not a minus 850 though.
No, not minus 850, but
if he was minus 500, that'd be more understandable. Minus 850 is crazy.
It's gonna be a dog walking no matter what. I feel like.
Yeah, but just because of the styles, but
yeah,
minus 850, miss me with that. But Mokaev for sure, definitely a parlay piece later in this card. Now to our next fight, we have Sam Patterson versus Yanal Ashmoz.
Who? Yeah, this one's a little weird, and I don't know why they have it so high up in the prelims. This one should probably be way lower. Sam Patterson, 10-1. This dude's like 6'4", but he's fighting at lightweight.
That's insane.
He's a striker. He's got hands. He's got a lot of subs, but he's got like big man subs. Like he can choke you with, them standing guillotines and all them, just the typical like
Yeah.
Short, like, the way he gets all those short guys, just the standing guillotine, all that kind of crazy stuff like that. He's fighting against this Yanal Ashmoz guy. He's a PFL contender flunky, I guess, if that's the right word. I don't know. He won his PFL fight, but didn't get selected to win a contract. He's a grappler. He's actually a decent grappler from Israel. This fight is just stylistically, it's weird because it's gonna look like a freak show when you see it, because this guy is 6'4", and then Ashmoz is like 5'8". He's a grappler, small hands. I don't know how he's gonna get in. The lean is Patterson, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Sam Patterson. Who? I think he's gonna be able to keep it. To use his range and keep it at distance. He's got power in his hands. He could probably sleep him. He's got terrible defense, but I don't think Ashmoz's the guy to catch him. He's probably a fade later on against somebody who's got decent hands. But yeah, this fight's weird.
Yeah, this fight will not be getting any of my money. I'm sure. I think you're there too. It's so low level, but I agree. The lean is definitely Sam Patterson. And yeah, we could just move on from this fight. I think you hit everything else pretty much on the head, but it's too low level for me to put my hard-earned money on it.
Yeah,
and I think you agree.
Yeah, let's go.
And another fight that might be too low level for me to put my hard-earned money on it. Chris Duncan versus Omar Morales. Omar Morales, 37 years old, from Venezuela, right?
The Venezuelan fighter.
Yep. Oh, the nickname, the Venezuelan fighter.
What a dog shit nickname.
Oh my goodness. And Chris Duncan, God, this is a rough one, guys. And this is a rough one because Chris Duncan fights with his hands down, walks forward, blocks with his face. Omar Morales kind of fights on, off his back foot. Is he taking this fight on last minute notice too?
Yeah, Chris Duncan's original opponent was supposed to be Michael Figlak, which I think would have been a better fight. And I think Figlak probably would have been a favorite there, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, to be honest, it's just that Omar likes to fight off his back foot, kind of play the point fighter. He's definitely the more precise puncher here.
The safer fighter.
He's the safer fighter, but I don't know. He's looking to probably get a safe fight out of this fight and try to control the pacing of this fight. But I don't know if he's going to be able to do that with Chris, because Chris just walks through punches. And
he's a wild man.
He's a wild man. Have you seen his Contender Series fight? He was dead to rights. Mm-hmm. He was like one more shot puts him down, and he caught the guy in the weigh-in with a right hand and put him to sleep. But those are the kind of fights that he's in. Pat Barry, Czech Congo shit. You know what I'm saying? Like where he's just rolling around, hurt, and he gets up and he cracks.
Yeah.
He's very heavy-handed.
Got to give him that. Yeah, he's got a lot of his finishes. I mean, a lot of his wins are finishes, and they're all KOs in the first and second round. He's got hands. Yeah. Sloppy hands, but he's got hands. If he lands, it's probably night-night.
I agree.
But
yeah, I would say the lean here is Chris Duncan. This fight's a pick'em, rightfully so. It is a pick'em. I like the prop I've been looking at for this fight is for this fight not to start round 3. I don't know if I'm going to bet it yet, but it's at minus 150 right now on DraftKings, and I like it a lot because most of this guy's finishes are within the first 2 rounds.
Yep.
He either kills or gets killed in the first 2 rounds. He's only lost once, but he got killed in the first round. And Omar Morales is taking this fight on short notice. He is a 37-year-old fighter. He is the cleaner puncher, and I could see him also catching Chris on the way in and putting him out too.
Yeah, he's got power in his hands.
He does. And he's very technical, like straight shots, not looping shots. This is a low-level fight. I don't usually put my money on this, but I think fight not to start round 3 is definitely a good bet for this fight because I think someone's going to get melted in this fight. So
yeah, I don't disagree.
But
violence for sure. I don't think this fight gets to the scorecards as an ugly fight.
Yeah, the only reason I'm not definitively giving you guys a bet for this fight is because it is low level. It's very low level, but I will say I think I'm going to bet.
I mean, listen, props just dropped for some of these fights. Not all of them, but some of them. So we're kind of just like looking at these props on the fly as well. We probably need some more time to digest these. So we don't want to be super committal on something that, especially something that's kind of low level at the same time. Like we don't want to be super committal on these bets at the moment.
We don't want to give you guys false information. But like I said, that's why you got to follow us on social media, guys, because we commit and we let you guys know exactly right before the card stops. We drop all our bets and we let you guys know where we stand with certain things. But I think you agree. Chris Duncan is the lean here. I think the bet is probably going to be fight to start round 3. But I'll let you guys know about that. It's not an official bet, but that's probably the bet I'm going to be making. So
yeah, I've gotten really enough. I mean, I guess Chris Duncan is the lean. I don't know. I was kind of looking at Omar, but I don't know. This fight's ugly.
It's ugly. It's ugly. Yeah. But let's just leave this one alone. Let's move on. We have another premier showing, in my opinion, but it could be interesting in the first round. Jack Shore versus Makwan Amirkhani. Oh, this is a good fight in the first round. This is a 1-round fight. I might have to pick Amirkhani.
Yeah.
But it's not a 1-round fight because all UFC fights that are not title fights are 3-round fights. So I will not be picking Amirkhani. I will be picking Jack Shore. He is definitely the pick in this fight. He is a -500, definitely a parlay piece here as well. But what I will tell you, and I'll let you talk actually first before I go on this rant real quick about how to make people some money.
Well, listen, my brother said Amirkhani. I mean, he's very good. And if it was a 1-round fight, he's got 1 round of gas. Very dangerous in that first round. But I think Jack Shore's got what it takes to not only hold him off for that first round, but probably finish him in the second or third round. Again, another fight. I think this is another, I guess setup is the wrong fight, but it's another, get right fight for Jack Shore here because they try to give him, what's homeboy's name?
Ricky Simone, man.
Ricky Simone as one of those not get right fights, but I think they would just
I think the UFC overlooked Ricky Simone.
Yes.
Yeah, Ricky Simone is one of my favorite fighters to watch, and he is a savage with the wrestling. He is a savage with the cardio. He's small, man, but dude, he just picks these boys up and just drops them on their heads, and he does not get tired. Very strong, but he's not who we're talking about here. We're talking about Jack Shore. Jack Shore got outworked by him, got sub late. This is definitely more of a easier fight for him, to be honest. Amirkhani's fought the way better competition, but he's only good for 1 round.
Yeah,
and that's just what it is.
I mean, he could catch him in a sub. I mean, he's been Jack Shore's been sub before, but I don't think it happens, if I'm being honest. I think this is Jack Shore all the way.
Yeah, and here now let me teach you guys how to make some money. This is how you bet this fight. Jack Shore is definitely probably going to be on the parlay, but there's always a chance. This is MMA. There's a lot of variables. Anything could happen. But here's how you make this. Right now they have, and I'm looking for it. I'm trying to find it. They have Amirkhani to win in rounds 1 or 2 at +850. Now here's what you don't do. You don't even pick that bet. It's got to be plus 1,000, right? For him to win by first round submission.
I don't know. Only because if you submission is probably the only way he does win.
Right.
That's tough. I don't know. You said plus 800 for rounds 1 and 2. That sounds pretty.
That is good. Crazy. What I do if I'm you guys. So if you have a +850 bet, right? For every dollar you put down, you get $8.50 back.
Yeah.
I sprinkle, right, a little bit on that because Amirkhani can get it done because his front headlock series with the anaconda chokes, he's filthy. He's filthy. I will say that he has probably one of the best series in terms of and packages in terms of that front headlock into anaconda choke series because he gets it from different angles. He knows how to kind of get you in certain positions where he can lock it up. Jack Shore is coming off his first loss, so it does raise some questions. But what I will say is put a little sprinkle on that by Amirkhani, first round submission. And then if he doesn't get it, you only wasted $1. You live bet Jack Shore once he starts taking control of this fight, either late in the first round or in the beginning of the second round. And then you smash him because those -500 odds might be going down a little lower because Amirkhani's only chance to win and to make this even competitive is in the first round. And he is very dangerous for the first 3.5 minutes. Very dangerous. So that's how I'm going to be betting it to get Jack Shore down to a lower number. He'll hopefully drop to -300, -250. Still a little high, but if he gets past the first round, Amirkhani is dead in the water. He's going to get smashed, and making that bet is going to be
super necessary.
So I think that's how I'm going to play it. Jack Shore is definitely possibly going to be in a parlay, but you want to make some money, bet a little bit on Amirkhani in case he does blow up your parlay, recover up all your parlay stuff because he is very capable of winning in the first round, and then wait for late in the first round, beginning of the second round to smash Jack Shore after his line drops a little bit. That's all I have to say about this fight. And I don't know if you have anything that you want to include, but I think that's proper. That's how you bet Amirkhani fights.
Yeah, no, I like the hedge play there, Amirkhani first round, and then second and third, or live bet, Jack Shore.
Absolutely.
But that's about it. You can move on.
You can move on.
Okay. Well, the next fight, we're hitting the prelim. Well, we're hitting the main card now. And we got Martin Vettori here going against Roman Dolidze. I'm just going to be straight up. I know I was talking to you earlier, off camera. I think I'm going Roman here. I might be crazy. I don't know. But that fight that he had against Jack Hermanson, I thought was pretty impressive.
Roman Dolidze has a very competent ground game, very big for the weight class, hits extremely hard. And as my brother said earlier, the way he got Jack Hermanson, who can grapple, in that calf slicer and mounted his back with the calf slicer, oh my God, that's as vicious as that's as vicious as you're going to see a stoppage. Because you can't really defend yourself there. Your leg is locked up. Then you have this big gorilla on top of you, mounting your back, hurting you, hitting you, and you can't really defend yourself. And then the choke is there for him as well. Now, with that said, as much as I sung his praises, Mr. Steal Your Girl, Mr. Do whatever it is that he wants to your girl, blah, 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 blah. We have Martin Vettori here, who, in my opinion, would be a world champion if Izzy and Robert Whittaker didn't exist.
I agree with that.
The Italian dream is real. I like him in this fight via decision because he's not really the most prolific finisher. He can get a finish because Roman does gas, but I like Marvin to win this fight via decision. He is a good wrestler, very strong, very big for the weight class, durable as hell, can grapple. He's good everywhere. Like he's a very good fighter. That's all I really have to say about this. I think I like Marvin a lot by decision.
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with you because these Georgian fighters, Marab showed me the way. I think Dolidze is going. I think he's got the hands. I don't think Vettori's going to hurt him. I think he's going to hurt Vettori. I think he's more than capable on the ground. And I think this is going to be a Roman Dolidze breakout. That's the way I'm feeling. I don't know.
Are you going to bet it?
I might bet it. I've been sitting on this for so long. I don't know. I just don't like Vettori. I know you. I think he's overrated.
Nah, I don't think he's overrated.
I'm just being straight honest.
I think he has a boring style, but he's not overrated.
I think he's a tough guy who can throw some volume, but he's not a finisher. And I think he's gonna. I think Roman. I think it's Roman's time. I feel it.
Well, listen,
I might bet him.
If he catches a big shot from Roman square, he can get knocked out because Roman hits extreme. He should be a 205er if we're being honest. Roman shouldn't be fighting at 85. He is humongous for the weight class, and he is very competent on the floor. He has a slick jiu-jitsu game. But I just don't. He beat Hermanson. Hermanson's a gatekeeper. I get that, but he was losing that fight up until that point. And I think Marvin is a better minute manager than Jack. And Marvin also is a better wrestler than Jack. And if Roman had a better gas tank, I might be willing to take a dog shot on him here. I'm with you, but does not have a gas tank.
Hey, man, it's only 3 rounds.
Yeah, but
he's going to do it, bro.
He has maybe a minute and a half of gas tank?
That's all you need.
Yes. Yeah, so we disagree here, but I like Marvin by decision. And it looks like my brother's leaning Roman by stoppage because I think that's the only way he's going to win this fight, to be honest. But
I mean, you could play him straight. He's plus money. You don't got to get too greedy, I think,
That's true. But it's not your official bet. Putting you on the spot here. Because
he's not my official.
That's all I hear.
Yeah.
I'm joking with you.
Nah, he might be. I don't know. I'm still sitting on it. I feel like I want to plant my flag here. I feel like this might be a spot where I'm going to plant my flag on this dog. I don't know yet. I might let you know at the end of the podcast. I might let you know on Twitter. I'm feeling it. I don't know. Fuck Vettori.
Jesus Christ.
Get it, man.
But anyway, guys, moving on. Oh God, another low level one, man. I don't know why this fight was moved to the main card. Oh my God.
I think
it might.
I know why.
The way they're pumping it, they should have just made it the headliner. Like, yeah, we're gonna switch it up. Yeah, like, it's a big switch up. We're gonna move JoJo Calderwood off the main card and put Casey O'Neill up there. But
this is a better fight.
I don't know.
This is a better fight.
It is, but it's. We have Jennifer Maia versus Casey O'Neill at 125. What do you got for me for this fight?
I think this fight I think they want it to be a showcase for Casey. Casey's been out for about a year because she tore ACL. Her last fight was against Modafferi. I think she retired Modafferi in that fight. Mm-hmm. I think this is supposed to be a showcase for her. The problem is that Jennifer Maia is not a showcase type fighter. I think this fight is going to be closer than people think. I think it's going to be grittier than people think, nastier than people think. It's closer than people think. But I'm leaning Casey to win. But I wouldn't be surprised if Maia pulled it out. It's I don't even think it's dog or pass. I just think it's gonna be a entertaining fight, and I'm probably not gonna bet on it.
I agree 100%. And by the way, the reason why another reason why we're not betting on this fight, and me and my brother were talking about it right before this podcast started. Casey O'Neill is coming off an ACL injury.
Yeah,
she tore her ACL last year, been out for a year. If she was more active, I'd probably be a little confident and probably might make a play on her. But Jennifer Maia is a beast, man. She's so overlooked.
It's a huge step up in competition for her, for sure.
Yeah, it is very big step up in competition. And after a year off against a girl who is extremely durable, has good grappling, great pressure.
Yeah, solid hands.
Solid hands, can thump. And Casey O'Neill hasn't really fought anywhere near the caliber of competition this girl has fought. So if you guys, listen, I'm not betting this fight, but if you guys want to take a shot at this, Jennifer Maia is not a bad play, I think, at dog money. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I could see split decision.
Yeah.
I think Casey's the better striker, and what's going to be interesting is to see them grapple, because I think
Casey is competent, but
yeah, it's a close fight. It's a close fight. I just don't know which side to go on, and that's why I don't want to bet it.
Yeah, these odds are blown out, man, a little bit too, in my opinion. Actually, it's not too bad. It's minus 170, plus 145
for over.
No, for straight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jennifer Maia plus 145. Casey O'Neill is minus 170. So, yeah, I'm staying away from this fight.
I think the over's hit. I think this fight makes it to decision because
I'll tell you the over right now.
I don't think Casey O'Neill, as good as her striking is, I don't think she can get Maia out. And Casey's a tough girl, and so I don't think Jennifer can get her out. I think it's gonna be a slugfest between them, and maybe even a grapple fest. It's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah,
one that I just don't know who's gonna win.
These overs are blown out, man. This fight is unbettable unless you're picking a dog or unless you're picking a finish.
Yeah.
So I will be staying away from this fight.
I think the lean is Casey, but no bet.
No bet. Yeah, I agree. But let's move on from this, from this fight. We have in our featured bout Gunnar Nelson versus Brian Barberena. Oh, man.
They should have put Roman Dolidze and Vettori as the feature.
How crazy is that?
I guess they want to open up the card with a banger because that fight's going to be great.
Yeah.
But enough about the Dolidze fight.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Gunnar Nelson and Brian Barberena.
Brian Barberena has Brian Barberena is coming off a Robbie Lawler win, but Brian Barberena has proven to have no grappling. When he fought RDA, actually not even coming off, he beat Robbie Lawler, then he lost to RDA. RDA made it look easy, and RDA is a lightweight coming up, grappled him, got him to the floor, cut through him like butter, stopped him. I like Gunnar Nelson in this fight.
Yep.
However, Gunnar Nelson is also an older vet in this game. But I agree. I think Gunnar Nelson coming off the couch and not grappling for 2 years still beats Brian Barberena on the floor. Mm-hmm. He does have that karate stance too. and he doesn't really get tired like Robbie will, unless Brian can somehow lure him into a fight or like a dog fight where it's just like a bar fight, where they're just throwing hands.
Yeah, there's only two things that kind of like make me they give me a little pause from going all in on Gunnar. One, because Gunnar's old, like you said. Two, Gunnar's IQ, I don't know.
Sometimes,
sometimes it's a little off there. Like, again, the path of victory is there for him. He could take, I mean, Jesus, Brian Barberena has no kind of takedown defense. You can just drag him down repeatedly. I think the way for Gunnar Nelson here is to drag him down, sub him out. That's why he is the favorite. I do lean Gunnar. Do I want to bet this? Maybe. I'm still thinking about it. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty open and closed. It's pretty open and shut, I guess, It's
Gunnar Nelson to finish by knockout or submissions are minus 115. Gunnar Nelson by submission, which is the one I'm looking at. I'm going to find it right now for you. I'm real close, guys. Hold on. It's a plus 100. Those are the spots I'm looking at.
Yeah. I wish that was a little more juiced.
Yeah, I agree. It's just hard to put money on Gunnar because he's 34 years old, kind of a vet now. Mm-hmm. I still like him in this fight, but I don't like him as a minus 360 because I think Brian can bury him with pressure.
Yeah. If Brian, for some reason,
he just knows how to lure people into these wars, man.
Yeah.
It's weird. And, whatever. But, yeah, Gunnar by stoppage, I think, is the lean. Gunnar's the lean. Gunnar by stoppage might be the bet.
Yeah. Don't know yet.
The lines just dropped, guys, so we have to, we apologize, but we can't give you something definitively unless we feel confident about it. So, we will definitely inform you guys on social media, like which way we'll be leaning, whether it's opposites or this and that or whatever it is,
Yeah.
But we'll let you guys know. But anyway, just to move on from this fight because it's, I don't know why it's a feature bout, but moving on, we have the co-main event, which is probably going to be fight of the night. Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. This is definitely a title eliminator fight.
What a sick fight.
This is a great fight.
Excellent fight.
Great fight. Great matchmaking. What do you got for me for this fight, my brother?
Well, I was on the Gaethje side initially, but I know the points you made offline to me
and watching tape
and watching some tape. I think Fiziev's is probably the truth. He's got the quicker hands. Gaethje's got the stronger hands. The only thing that worries me about this fight, worries me about taking the Fiziev side is whether or not he can handle Gaethje's leg kicks. And, Gaethje's always got that one-shot power KO. I think he is the stronger guy.
He's a bigger guy, too, for sure. He's big. Yeah. Fiziev, I think, is like 5'9".
Fiziev looks like he could fight at featherweight.
Yeah.
But, Fiziev's might be you let me know. I don't know.
Yeah, I like Fiziev's by knockout in this fight. I do, and I will be betting it by knockout. And the reason I do like that bet for a couple of reasons. Fiziev, if you watch any of his fights, the fight against Moicano, the fight against RDA, and the fight against RDA showed a lot because it was deep in the fight where he stopped him. When you make a mistake against this guy, he makes you pay. He makes you pay bad. The same thing with Brad Riddell, also late in the fight. Went to the body, did a whole bunch of good work, and then he just caught Fiziev. Fiziev caught him with a good shot. I think it was it an elbow? No, caught him with a head kick. And stopped him. And it was a spinning back kick. It was not telegraphed, filthy.
No. He's got very smooth striking, Fiziev.
As well, too, and one thing I will say, guys who are worried, and this is why I kind of talked my brother on my side off of the cliff a little bit, and I still feel like, even me, it's still to be tested and to be seen. But the only path for victory, in my opinion, for Justin to win this fight is to use his wrestling, which he is not going to use because he hasn't used it, to catch him with a good shot, which is going to be very hard to do because Rafael is very defensively responsible, or to implement his leg kicks. Now, the leg kicks, I would say, is the surest path to victory for Gaethje in this fight. However, Fiziev does train out of Tiger Muay Thai. He is a coach there. He is a seasoned trainer there.
He's the striking coach there.
Beast.
Yeah.
he is going against constantly some of the best leg kickers in Thailand. Some of the best leg kickers in Thailand. Now, if he is going to be able to receive those kicks, who knows, right? Because Justin, I believe they said they did a test on him. He has the densest bones in the lightweight division, which is crazy. That's why
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he can kick you in the clinch. Like, he gets you in the clinch and he kicks you from weird angles.
Yeah.
Insanity. Like, he's one of the best leg kickers in MMA history, in my opinion. He's really good. However, he's going against a guy that deals with clinch work constantly, deals with distance work constantly with some of the best leg kickers in Thailand, Thai boxers. I think he's going to be able to check the kicks. I also think he's going to be able to counter the kicks. And when this guy hits you, especially when he catches you clean. Clean. And the thing is, like you said, faster of the two. He's also not only the sharper, but Justin fights like a gorilla. He wings his punches. Don't get me wrong, he's gotten a little better under Trevor Whitman. He's kind of honed it. His boxing has gotten a little better. I will say that. He does hit harder than him, in my opinion. But Rafael's punches are shorter, sharper, to the point. Like, if they exchange, Rafael's going to hit him first. He's quicker, and his shot selection, his left hook, his straights, much shorter, much more compact, everything tight. The much more technical striker. And like I said, and I constantly say this time and time again, he will make you pay if you mess up. He is that good. That good. I think this is the coming out party for him. I think he knocks him out. Second, third round. Maybe even the first if he catches him early.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pick the round. I'm picking the knockout. He knocks him out.
You think it's a knockout?
Justin's durable, but he fought Michael Chandler, who hits like a truck, but Michael, you can see his punches coming from a mile away. Let's be real. Who else has stopped Moicano like that? Like, where Moicano didn't even look like he knew what he got hit with. Aldo stopped him, but it was more like a TKO. When he hit Moicano, it was like, Moicano was like, whoa, what happened?
Yeah.
RDA, even though he is older, who has stopped RDA like that? Everyone else, Kamaru grappled him. Colby grappled him. So usually when you're beating RDA, you're just kind of laying and praying and using your wrestling to beat him. This guy RDA made 1 second of a mistake, and he paid for it. Got stopped in that fight. Bad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing that kind of worries me is that, I mean, it did take him to the 5th round to take RDA out.
Yeah.
Do you think Justin is gonna? Because it's a 3-round fight, so it's a little different.
But the reason why it took him that long is because RDA had the threat of the grappling.
That's true.
The wrestling, the pressure, and RDA, even to now, is a beast. Like, his cardio, he does not get tired, presses forward, does what he has to do, like, makes it uncomfortable for you, And I'll be honest, I love Fiziev in this fight. I think he knocks him out. That's gonna be a bet, guys. He's gonna knock him out.
What's his money line right now?
Fiziev is, and that's the thing, he's too high to bet straight. He's a minus 230.
You can argue there's probably some value there. If you think he's gonna, do what he's gonna do to Gaethje, maybe 230 is. I mean, listen, I don't like betting numbers above 200, but
listen, by knockout, because I think that's the way he wins this fight, is plus 140. And Lexi, I'm gonna take a look at the double chance. Fiziev by knockout or decision is minus 200.
Yeah, the thing is,
I like that too.
I can see the decision only because I don't think, again, Fiziev is very accurate, but he's not as powerful.
Right.
And Gaethje's got a chin.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that kind of worries me about the knockout. I think you're probably right. I think it probably ends up going that way anyway. But I feel like I don't think Gaethje's completely washed.
No.
And I think Gaethje's gonna make this a wild fight. Which, I mean, I guess that kind of leans into the KO, right? Because you fight wild with Fiziev, and Fiziev's, yeah, you're right. He'll
make you pay.
He'll catch you.
He'll make you pay, man. Every time.
It's interesting. I'm still going back and forth with this fight. Fight, I've been on the fence about this fight since they announced this fight.
Yeah, and here's how I look at it, guys. Outside of the Michael Chandler fight, his last, Jesus Christ. Listen, he has 23 wins, 20 stoppages.
Gaethje's a hammer, man.
He's a beast. All 4 of his losses are by stoppage.
Yeah.
He has 3 wins by decision. I just think, too, and here's how I look at it, too. If Charles Oliveira could hit him that clean.
Yeah, okay, I can see your point.
I think
Charles has got some underrated power, though.
He has underrated power. He has underrated precision, too.
Yeah.
But that's
or the position, that's where Fiziev comes in, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, I can see that point.
As Connor said, I think it's, what is it? Speed beats power and precision beats speed?
Something like
that, right? But it's true. And I think Muhammad Ali had a quote along those lines too. It's true. Like speed beats power and precision beats speed. It just does, you know? I think
I think you're right. You know?
I like I said, he's only had one fight in his UFC since he's been in the UFC. One fight go to decision. That is absurd. One fight.
I might just bet it straight. Even though 230 is a big number.
Or just bet him by knockout, or because it's minus 200 by knockout or decision. Which I would treat as a straight bet. I would just treat that because they're not submitting each other.
Yeah, I don't think nobody's subbing.
No one's subbing anybody in this fight.
That's true.
I think minus 200 for Fiziev by knockout or decision, but I do like the knockout here.
I'm a little more comfortable with that number.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I don't knock it. I think that's a parlayable piece, to be honest. I think he's going to win this fight.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, I think Justin, he's not washed. I just think when you get him in there with the higher caliber of strikers,
yeah,
especially guys that can deal with his leg attacks, he's in trouble.
That's if he could deal with his leg attacks. Like that's literally one of my only questions going into this fight. Can he deal with Gaethje's leg attacks?
Put it this way, if he could deal with Gaethje's leg attacks, how would you feel about it?
I'd feel a whole lot better.
Yeah.
I feel a whole lot better betting Fiziev.
And I'm going to bank on it because he trains out of Tiger Muay Thai, and I think he's going against some of the best kickers in the world.
Yeah.
I like Fiziev. I like that as a straight bet. It's almost like a money line bet by knockout or decision, minus 200, and I like him by knockout plus 140. The bet I feel is going to be, well, now that I looked at that line, now I'm like on the fence about which one I should bet.
Yeah, you can think about it for now, and then we can just put it out later.
But I like the knockout a lot, guys. I do. I just think this guy, Fiziev, if you don't know, you about to know.
Yeah.
You about to know in this fight. This dude is a hammer, and his footwork, everything, his speed, he is filthy. He is as filthy as it gets.
I think you're talking me off the ledge here. I mean, I think Fiziev is probably the side that wins. I think he's probably... Yeah, I think he's probably the rightful favorite. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's just on DraftKings, guys. We got to look at the other sports books because I'm pretty sure if there's like a double chance, it might be at lower numbers as well. If it's like minus 180 for him by knockout or decision, I will take that. Minus 190 too, I'll take that. Minus 200 is it's like the borderline where you want to because it's for every dollar you put, you got to, for every $2 you put, you get $1 back.
You just want to try to make sure you're maximizing your value here, you know?
I agree.
You know?
I agree. I don't like...
on a prop, 200 is like pushing it.
Yeah.
But for this fight, it might be worth it. I don't know. It's something I'm just going to have to think over.
Yeah. Like I said, guys, you guys got to follow us on social media because we'll be releasing stuff, especially with these lines just dropping. We're spitballing at you guys now while the lines are dropping. So that's a big issue as to why we're having, we're not giving you anything definitive yet. But I personally like him by knockout or decision. I think I'm definitively putting that as a bet. The knockout at plus 140, there's value there. I think I might play it closer to fight time. So, yeah, but we'll get back to you guys. But I think we can move on to the main event now, right?
The main event, baby.
We got a drum roll here?
No
drum rolls, right?
No drum rolls.
We have Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman. I'm going to let you start on this because I have a lot to say.
Yeah, get ready for one of my brother's legendary rants here because he is going to go off.
Yeah.
So this is the trilogy fight here. Leon Edwards, plus 200. Kamaru Usman, minus 245. The numbers are, from part two, from their second fight, the numbers are a little closer. But I think still right. Usman was winning that fight until he wasn't. Man, me and my brother watched this fight last night. I think we came out with more questions than answers.
How crazy is that?
Because I think this fight is going to be that good. I don't think it plays out the same way. Don't know how it plays out. Because it could play out a multitude of ways. We don't know how Usman is going to look coming back from that knockout. Historically, champions that go on these long runs and then lose their belts, it goes either one or two ways. It'll go like the Amanda Nunes route, where she kind of lost the belt to Pena and then dog walked to the next fight. Or it'll go the other route, where they just don't look the same when they come back. And then the challenger who won the belt, Leon, maybe makes a more emphatic statement and beats him. It's tough. I don't know. This fight is insane.
Yeah.
It's insane to pick. It's insane to cap. It's insane to try to describe, because it could just play out a multitude of different ways. I mean, if you gun to the head, I think Kamaru probably wins. But man, Leon is a live dog, I feel like.
Yeah.
What do you got?
So what I will say, guys, to mirror my brother here, Leon is definitely a live dog in this fight. After watching the fight footage again, I agree with him. We came out with more questions than answers. And just so you guys know, full disclosure, I did pick Leon to win the second fight. We didn't have the podcast up yet. I do have a bet slip for any of you guys who want to debunk me here. But Leon is definitely live in this fight for a lot of reasons. I think it's going to play a lot like the second fight. However, I feel like the confidence is kind of roaming more in Leon's direction. Mm-hmm. And I'll get to the intangibles and then I'll get to the tangibles. And that's how I'm going to try and break this up. Kamaru Usman never been knocked out before. He's coming back off of a knockout, a devastating knockout, a life-changing knockout in under a year, which I don't agree with.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that he's coming back so soon at all.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's really scary. I like Kamaru, how he's been real quiet, which means he's been real focused. So I will give him that. But what I will say is when you get knocked out like that, it can change you. And like to echo my brother, when champions historically get knocked out like that, they don't usually come back and regain the title. The question you're going to have to ask yourself in this fight, do you think Kamaru Usman is great enough? Great, not good. Great enough to come back and get this title mentally and strategically? Because he fought pretty much a pretty strategic game plan for most of the second fight until he didn't. And what I will say is there's kind of some holes there, and I'm going to bring them up to you guys, like all the way down to like the referee for this fight that I have questions for. But what I will say is they're not fighting in altitude this time. And people could say it's not a factor or this and that. And that the factor, when Leon was getting that prep talk, that it wasn't a matter of altitude, that it was a matter of confidence because Kamaru was breaking him and bullying him in there. Regardless of all that, still managed to knock him out. And in his mind, he's walking into this fight with that in his mind. On my worst night where I thought I was going to lose that fight, I still got it done.
Yeah, I don't think the altitude was a major factor, but it is a factor. But now they're going to be fighting in London at sea level.
Sea level in Leon's backyard.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like all the cards are shuffling to Leon's way, and he's still expected to lose this fight. There's more pressure on Kamaru and more questions for Kamaru to perform in this fight than Leon Edwards. It's kind of crazy.
It's kind of wild, only because Usman, he fought like the perfect fight for the second round, the third round, the fourth round. He had that fight in the bag. It's like, what does he do differently?
Right.
what does he do differently from that previous fight, except not get kicked in the head, I guess.
Right.
I mean, it's tough. Do you consider what happened in the 5th round a mental lapse or what? Like,
Right.
describe what happened in that 5th round.
So what I think happened, and, people are going to look at me crazy for this. One thing Kamaru Usman doesn't get enough credit for. And now we're going to jump into the tangibles, guys. So let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100 and let's get real technical with what we're seeing on the footage. And this is why we walked out with more questions than we did answers, which is hilarious. But because we both thought for rounds 3 and 4 that Leon got dog walked. Not the case.
Yeah.
He had his moments in both of those rounds. And I feel like this is almost turning into a matchup where Kamaru has to be perfect for 25 minutes. Because Leon had him hurt a couple of times with his left hook, hit him a couple of times with the straight right, and was going to work with the body work, with the kicks, and with the kicks to the head and the legs, which I hope Leon does exploit more in this fight. Now with Kamaru, and this is going to be the last intangible before we jump into more of the tangibles, but this kind of intertwines actually. So with Kamaru Usman, with his chicken legs, right? If Leon has the threat already of kicking him in the head from the second fight, you can best believe that whenever Leon's back leg or even front leg raises up, Kamaru is going to come here. He might try to parry and catch it like he usually does, but trust me, he's going to be a lot more tight here because he cannot afford for his legacy for this thing to happen again. Now, what I think this is going to open up is a lot of body work and a lot of leg kicks from Leon. I think Leon has his number and is in his head rent-free from that head kick. And I think it's going to play somewhat of a factor in this fight. I think it's going to open up more offense with his kicking and more offense with his body work, et cetera, et cetera.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Do you think Leon wrestles more? Because I'm leaning no.
No. So now this is why watching footage is a beautiful thing. Leon got in trouble, particularly I believe in the 2nd or 3rd round. He was winning that round. And he gave away the round when he tried to shoot on Kamaru.
Yes. I remember that. Yeah. I remember that distinctly, actually.
He tried to shoot on him. And I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but I think Leon should only emphasize working takedowns when he has the over-under. And for people who don't know, it's when you have a wizard on one side and you have an underhook under the other bicep. He was able to get in the 1st round of that second fight, an inside trip, and take Kamaru's back. And Kamaru, listen, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. He looked lost. Kamaru is the better cardio machine and the better wrestler in this fight. Leon is the better striker and grappler in this fight. No question in my mind.
Yes. I don't think people talk about Leon's grappling and the improvements he's made in his grappling.
Yeah.
And I feel like they deserve the credit.
Yes.
For sure.
Now, here's the other thing. What I will say is that there's a couple of grappling exchanges, that if you look at the tape, when Kamaru had him in a front headlock position, he had him hoisted down. Leon had his hands down on the mat, and Kamaru almost had his knees on the floor, just trying to weigh on him, put his weight on him. Leon actually had an underhook, dagged the underhook, did a knee tap, and if the gate wasn't in back of Kamaru, he takes him down in that position.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a Kamaru Usman hater in this episode. I have not had the fondest things to say about him.
Yeah.
I think he is a weight bully. I think he is a guy that is not a technical grappler. I think he's a brute. He's made his living beating guys who are blown up lightweights. Jorge Masvidal, blown up lightweight. Gilbert Burns, blown up lightweight. Colby Covington could make lightweight, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Colby Covington is the only guy that gave him a run. And guess what he was? Arguably a true welterweight. Leon Edwards, true welterweight, beat him, knocked him out, and gave him a lot of different looks in the grappling. Made him think about things. Wasn't as easy to take down. You know why? Because he's a much bigger dude. They have him listed at 6 feet tall on the portals, and that's cap because
he's
Leon's 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, Leon is taller, and he looks bigger in there, too.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
What I will say is, as well, that there were a couple of instances in this fight where I have the refereeing, I almost want to wait till I see who's the referee in this fight before I make the bet. Because Herb Dean missed a couple of things. I think it happened in the second, third, and I think in the 5th round.
I know what's coming.
Kamaru Usman was fence grabbing, man.
He was.
And if you look at the footage, if I'm Leon's corner and his coaches, I'm telling the referee, whoever the referee is of that fight, watch out for this guy with the fucking fence grabs.
Yeah.
This guy has made a living doing that. And I'm not saying, listen, when you're cheating, you're trying. You're cheating, you're trying.
A living is crazy, though.
He kind of has, man. Like, especially against these guys that he has a hard time holding against the fence. These bigger, true welterweights, he holds the fence, man.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, bro.
And listen, I'm not even mad at him about it. But if I'm Leon's corner, I'm emphasizing that.
Sure.
Stop this guy from touching the fence.
Yeah.
Because he literally regained position about 3 or 4 times because he fence grabbed. Held position 3 or 4 times because he fence grabbed. If Mark Goddard is refereeing this contest, I'm going to be very tempted to put a bet on Leon Edwards. Because Mark Goddard is pretty attentive in terms of understanding what's going on in the fight and who's fighting. Very attentive. They say Herb Dean's the best in the business. I think Herb Dean is not the best in the business. I think we're probably going to get Mark Goddard because we are in London, which is a treat. I'm not saying that Kamaru Usman doesn't have a path to victory in this fight.
No, he definitely does.
He definitely does.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not going to win this fight. All I'm saying is that Leon Edwards is as live as it gets. And I think he's going to be liver this time than the second fight. I think this fight's going to be way more action-packed. I think if Leon Edwards does not shoot on him, uses his distance management, and here's the other thing. I'm going to bring it way back. More cheating from Kamaru Usman. He gets hit with a teep to the body.
He's a hater, bro.
It was in the liver. It was a nice teep kick from Leon Edwards. Calls it a cup shot. And if you look at the replay, it didn't touch his cup. The same thing happened in the Kobe Covington fight. Kobe threw a kick, hit him in the body. Oh no, it was a cup shot. Clown shit. Real clown shit. And was he hurt? I don't know. But it had to be if he said, he had to be somewhat hurt.
Yeah.
And now with Kamaru Usman having in mind that he got kicked straight down to Satan's basement, right? Right in the head, devastating knockout, and that he knows he probably hasn't had time to properly recover that chin within this short period. I just think that there's a lot more openings in this fight for Leon than there were in the second fight. And the fact that he caught him a couple of times in that fight with the left hook coming in, and then he would also feint the right hand or commit with the right hand and then come around with the left hook and catch him around the gloves. I could see Leon exploiting a lot of holes in this fight with Kamaru, a lot better than he did in the second fight, especially since in that second fight, he still got the job done and he made most of the mistakes.
Yeah, I got a feeling that even though Leon is probably the one that needs to make more adjustments, I think Kamaru is going to end up the one over adjusting.
Yeah.
I think again, I think the odds are right. This could be, I guess, theoretically a dog or pass situation. Leon is hell alive.
Live as hell.
And there's again, like you said, I think there's a good chance that Leon, puts a period at the end of this trilogy.
Yeah. And the thing is, this is what I'm saying. When Kamaru's fighting true welterweights, he has trouble.
Yeah. He's
had trouble historically. He's had trouble taking them down. He's had trouble being a brute. He's had trouble, and that's the thing. He's not a very technical guy. He does have like the wrist ride on the back. They call it the Dagestani handcuff, but it's like a lockdown from the back.
Yeah.
But That's about it with his grappling. Not really a submission threat. Not the biggest ground and pound guy, even though he can land damage from those positions. And one thing I do like that he is saying, like, I do have violence in my mind. He was saying that in one of his interviews yesterday. And he said he had it kind of for the second Masvidal fight, had it for the Colby Covington fight. And look at those fights. Those fights kind of became, well, the Masvidal one, not so much. He kind of he was overextending with some of his punches, though. Before he caught Masvidal, he's good with the 1-2. Kamaru has a very good 1-2. His jab is really strong. His second is pretty good.
Yeah.
But once he goes from there, he's wailing punches. That's how he throws punches. His 3, 4, 5, that's how he's throwing punches. If Leon uses effective footwork, which he kind of did in the second fight, but not as good as I thought he could, but I think it was because of, in his mind, the altitude and a whole bunch of stuff, he had questions. Now they're at sea level, probably going to move his feet a lot better, going to attack the body more. I like Leon as a live dog in this fight, man. I don't know if I'm going to bet him yet, but for everyone that's listening, please follow us on social media because I think he's more alive than Grasso. No question.
Yeah.
No question. You know, and the odds reflect that. So let's just keep it 100. Vegas knows too.
Yeah.
Vegas kind of knows he's live as hell. But the fact, what I'm really interested to see is how how Kamaru deals with the minute Leon starts throwing leg kicks. The minute he starts throwing body kicks.
Just the striking in general, to be honest. I'm pretty interested to see how he reacts to any kind of striking that Leon throws his way.
Yeah.
If he's super conservative, if he does any kind of like, sloppy entries just to prevent getting hit. I think the interview that you brought up when he was talking about the violent intentions,
It might be cap. Who knows?
It might be a little cap. It also could be the fact that he's probably just going to try to wear on him a little more and maybe throw a little more grimy ground and pound in there.
Right.
But because I don't think Kamaru's a dumb guy.
No.
I think he knows what he did worked for the most part the last fight. And I think, it's just going to be pretty interesting to see. I don't know. It's going to be pretty interesting to see just where his head is at, literally when he got his head kicked off.
Here's what I will say though.
I'm just pretty interested to see where he's at.
That round, and quote me if I'm wrong, when Leon shot on him, if he did not shoot on him and they were able to keep that round standing.
Wait, which round is this?
I think it's 2.
Okay.
Would you have given Leon that round?
Maybe.
The fact that this fight can go 2-2 into the 5th round is scary. Yeah. That's why I think the Kamaru bet is scary.
Yeah.
And the Leon bet's scary too. But I feel like this fight can go 2-2 into the 5th. I really believe that.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't. And these rematches never play out. Well, it's not even a rematch. It's a third fight, but it technically is a rematch for rematch.
Right.
These fights never play out the same way. So it's not, I don't think it's going to look at all like the previous fight.
Definitely not the first fight.
Definitely not the first fight. It might look similar to the second fight, but I don't think it's going to look that close to the second fight. I think
there's going to be more output.
I think, and I think that output's going to come from the Leon side.
Yeah.
Because I think he knows what he needs to do. And again, he's at home. He's the champion.
Kamaru's coming back off a short term off of a knockout.
Short turnaround.
Devastating. And for people who don't know, and you could ask any fighter this, when you get touched like that, you need to sit your ass out for a little while.
Yeah.
Because your chin is not fully recuperated.
Yeah, it's not just a hey, sit out to mentally recover. It's literally to sit out to recover.
Yeah.
Because your brain is still scrambled.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a little flash knockout. He was on the floor with his eyes open, but the lights were not home.
Yeah.
He was not there.
The lights were not on, man.
He sat up and was like, that happened?
Yeah. That's what he was asking when he got knocked out.
Like it was one of those kind of KOs.
Yeah.
And it's a head kick.
Yeah.
It
was nasty.
Yeah.
And it was a basic 1-2 combo. And the thing is, do you expect Kamaru not to shift his head like a boxer under that Trevor Whitman style? I don't think he shifts that game plan.
No, I don't think so either.
You know,
I think it's more grappling heavy from him.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he worked more of his submission grappling for this fight.
That'd be pretty interesting.
That'd be very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that might be the mitigating factor if he decides to do that.
Maybe that's how he catches Leon, because like as good as a grappler, Kamaru can be, especially on the ground when he's got you in the the Dagestani handcuff, and he's kind of just riding you, grinding you, pounding you.
Hey
yo. Like you can tell Leon was never worried about submission.
Yes.
And that be one wrinkle that can catch Leon off guard.
Yes.
The same way Leon kind of caught him off guard in the first round when he went for that
inside trip. Yeah.
And took him down. Because Kamaru, you saw his face when he hit the ground. He was like, "Oh wow, okay, I'm on my back."
Yeah, and Kamaru kind of didn't he looked like he knew what he was doing. He looked lost, and I'm not trying to call out his grappling, but he's not. Him and Justin Gaethje in the same camp. These guys do not train grappling, and you've seen what Khabib did to Justin. He kind of cut through him like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying he's the same level. I think Kamaru's a little more effective and efficient of a grappler.
He is.
He's more competent.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, when I look at this fight, I have more questions for Kamaru's side. And I'm not going to, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't rate Kamaru too highly. I don't think he's as great. Yeah. I don't think he's as great as people push him to be. Mm-hmm. I think he's a very good fighter. I'm not going to take that away from him. When people started coming up with this GSP argument, get that out of town. That needs to stop. I don't think he's ever going to get there. He's probably going to retire after this fight or fight after this before he has to fight Khamzat Chimaev or Rakhmonov, because I think those guys are the new kids that are coming and they are dangerous. I have more questions for Kamaru heading into this fight than I do Leon.
100%.
And I know what Leon can do better, and I think Leon knows what he can do better. And if you notice in that fifth round, to cap this all off, a part of it, I think, was exhaustion. But I think a part of it, too, was that Leon took the center of the cage and did not take a step back. Kamaru Usman's open mat wrestling is not that good. He's good on the singles, but he's usually really good against the cage. That's where he does his best work. I would love to see Leon test his open mat wrestling. I would also love to see Leon not take a step back with this guy.
Yeah, just plant
and stay there. And that's where he found his best success. I'm not going to predict like a Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder when Tyson Fury got hit and knocked down, and then he pressured Deontay and he kind of figured out the formula for the next two fights on how to beat Deontay Wilder. I'm not going to go that far, but if that happened, would I be surprised? No, I wouldn't. Because as soon as Leon decided to plant his foot down in the center of that cage and not move and not take a step back, Kamaru had a hard time. And the reason why I say Kamaru had a hard time, and here's the thing, and this is why I tell people, Kamaru, this is the one compliment I will give Kamaru. He has a really good way, and this is definitely thanks to Trevor Whitman, of cutting off the cage and backing you up behind that line. Backing you up behind that black line so he can wrestle you against the cage. He has pretty good footwork in terms of getting you there. As soon as Leon stopped moving, he kind of didn't know what to do. He kind of didn't know how to use his footwork to feint and get him back, even though he does have the capability, which is why I won't be depending on this last point from Leon to win him the fight. But I wouldn't be surprised if Leon took center and held center and made sure Kamaru did not back him up.
Yeah.
And just work behind the jab, work behind the body kicks, and now that the threat of the head kick is there, the body and the leg will be available. And that's one thing I don't think I've seen anyone exploit on Kamaru, going to his legs. And I would love to see Leon do it because he has the full capability of doing it. I'm not betting Leon, guys. I'm not betting anything for this fight yet because the lines just dropped. Like, a lot of these lines just dropped and I don't know who to pick. But I will say, especially if Mark Goddard is the referee, and I feel like, and I do get some like disclosure that there were conversations to Mark Goddard from Leon's corner about cage grabbing and stuff like that. I can definitely see a possible upset in this fight. I can definitely see it. I can definitely see Leon winning this fight. No question in my mind. I wouldn't be surprised if this fight's 2-2 heading into the fifth. And if it's 2-2 heading into the fifth, I'll take the dog there. Because Because you're going to tell me Leon can't keep the fight standing and just bully him a little bit?
It starts standing.
Start standing.
Yeah.
Maintain the center of the octagon, push him back, make it uncomfortable for him. I could see it. I could really see it. And yeah, God, I almost want to bet Leon. I almost do. And I almost feel like that's the pick I want to give you guys. I'm giving you a lot of good reasons why you should consider it actually. And I don't think I'm wrong here. I don't think I'm wrong about anything I'm saying. Now, can Kamaru implement a game plan where he's just on him like white on rice? Sure. I just don't know if he's willing to play in that range with Leon. He has to play with the range with Leon to get there.
Yeah.
And with a guy who's 35 years old, coming off his first knockout and a vicious knockout, when Leon touches him the first time, how is he going to react to it? All this training he's done, he's maybe done 1 month of full contact. Maybe. If he was smart, no contact training for at least 6 months. When was the last fight? It's a good question, right?
Actually don't know.
Because when you get knocked out like that, you shouldn't be taking contact for like 6 months. It might 4 to 6 months, depending on how your body reacts to it and stuff like that. But his last fight was August 20th. So what is that? August. No, let's forget August. September, October, November, December, January, February, March.
Yeah.
It's a half a year.
Yeah.
God, I think I just talked myself into betting Leon. I think I'm going to take a dog shot here.
Okay.
And I picked him the second fight. I think I might be picking him the third fight, guys. I really do. And I feel like a lot of people are not giving him too much of a shot here. I feel like people are not considering the psychology, especially with a guy who can kick and then blocking for his head. And then this guy starts winding him up to the body. He's going to start winding him up to the body. And by the way, Leon can throw question mark kicks. He is very capable. So I can see him whipping to the body and then whipping up and hitting him in the head with it, especially after doing a considerable amount of body work to him. Yeah, I don't have an official bet for this fight, guys, but
it's probably going to be Leon.
It's probably going to be Leon. It's probably going to be Leon. And that fight footage that we watched last night, my brother, it did not. I feel like it made my point stronger. I really do.
I feel like we just answered all the questions we had last night live.
Yeah.
Now.
I seen things, man. And you seen it too. And I explained to you, like the knee tap that he had, that he almost took him down. And there's a lot of ways for Leon to win this fight. A lot more than people are saying just a knockout, lightning in a bottle. No, he won the first round. He won the first round. He was winning the second round until he shot. If he didn't shoot, he probably wins that second round. So you're telling me it's 2-2 heading into the fifth, especially if it plays out the same way, which it very capably can, because Leon's going to have a full gas tank for the second round. And he's going to know, if he's watching the footage correctly, not to shoot on Kamaru.
Hopefully.
Only work off the body lock.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, because that was his only successful takedown, yeah.
Yeah.
The body lock.
Off the body lock. And it was an over-under. And he caught Kamaru by surprise. I don't think Kamaru falls for it again. But I could see Kamaru, I could see Leon threatening it and getting him off of him. A lot of things.
Yeah.
A lot of things.
There's a lot of things you could play with.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways. Kamaru has one way: cardio pressure, takedown. Leon, work the grappling, work the distance management, set up kicks, work the body, kick the legs. And he's big. He can handle the bruteness of Kamaru. I feel like I'm gonna bet Leon. I don't even know I'm holding on you guys, but but listen, that was my long-winded rant for this, and I don't know if you have anything else to add to that. I apologize.
No, not at all, brother. Sorry.
That must have been like 10, 15 minutes of talking right there.
Probably like 15, 20.
Jesus Christ. But
you can talk, man.
Yeah. Unfortunately, if it hits, fortunately, because I talked you into some money. But what I will say, official bet, but I think I'm going to be going Leon in this fight.
We'll put it out probably late Thursday, early Friday. We're going to try to be maybe a little better with putting these bets out.
Yeah.
Give
you guys some opportunities to get on some better money.
Yeah, to get the better lines.
Yeah. So, but regardless, do you have anything else to add?
No, I don't.
I don't think I do.
No, that was perfect.
Yeah, but Guys, as we said, you see that likes button, that subscribe button, hit them. Please show some love on the YouTube channel. But if not, follow us. Well, no if nots. Follow us and subscribe and like and do all of it. Do all of it. But for everything else, for all the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, follow us there.
Yep, you already know. You guys are watching the YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, hit the notification bell. You know what to do with the YouTube.
Yep, and for all the audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. You can follow there too, and it'll give you alerts. Once again, all this for $3.99 and such a quality product. And we got more to come, guys. We got more to come. God bless you guys. It's been a brilliant podcast. I had fun on this one. I apologize. I had fun because I just had fun pooping on Kamaru. And love you guys. We hope you guys love what we're giving you guys, and we hope our bets help you out tremendously.
Hopefully.
And as well, too, tune on Twitter because we have some boxing fights to debate this weekend. One of them in particular with Gabriel Rosado, huge underdog. He's Boricua. We got to hold him down, so I'm going to shout him out. He's fighting a hammer. We'll talk more about that then and tweet about it and let you guys know where we're leaning. Some other fights, but this is the big card of the weekend. God bless you guys. Love you. Holla at you.